Good evening, all. My name is Archana Shyam. I'm a performing actor and director from Bangalore. I also work for Deccan International School as theatre resource person. I'm an aspiring soft skill trainer. I'd like to thank AMCAD for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present my session today. So I welcome you all to the presentation of the power of storytelling. So, Yuval Noah Harari is a famous author. He says humans think in stories, and we try to make sense of the world by telling stories. Suppose, for example, I have an interview tomorrow in the morning. So I start to build stories in my previous night only. Like I start to think like I have to get ready well, I have to prepare myself well, I have to present myself well, I have to be well prepared, I have to catch the bus on time. All these stories we start to think. That is what Yuval Noah Harari says. Humans always think in stories. That is what makes sense to the world. Like we try to make sense to the world by telling stories. What belief system we have? Sorry, what belief system we have? Suppose I go to a group of monkeys and tell them, you have lost a bunch of bananas. Can you give it to me? I'll tell you, in the next birth, you will own a big banana shop. Will the monkeys really believe that? Anyone can answer this. Will that believe?
No, I don't think they don't believe.
Exactly. But the major system in the world are through stories. We can make believe people through stories. We can convince people through stories. God, religion, laws, rules, corporate, society, everything is story driven. It's a myth. And we convince and make believe people through stories. These are all story driven. So can one of you tell me any story or a book or a film that has made an impact on you and that has brought a change in you in somewhere or the other?
Yeah. Suprabhata film by Mr. Vishnuvardhan sir. I really liked that, and I have learned a lot of things from that movie.
Oh, thank you so much, Satish sir, for sharing this. So some of the films have made an impact on us, and it has really helped us to transform. One such film is Bangar the Manushya by Dr. Rajkumar. After watching Bangar the Manushya, the audience started to think about farmers. Most of them got motivated to become farmers. In the movie Tamasha, Ranbir Kapoor is a very ordinary person, and in his journey he meets a storyteller. After he listens to the storyteller, he transforms into a completely new person. At the end of the movie, he's someone who cannot be recognized also. Likewise, after Dear Zindagi came, many people have started to talk about mental health. They go to the therapist and talk about mental health. And Laksh film was a flop actually. It was directed by Farhan Akhtar, but after the movie, Farhan Akhtar went to depression also. But he started a concert, a rock concert. He went to an army camp. One evening, he went to an army camp, and There after the concert, the organizer said, Farhan, you have a surprise now. Then the organizer asked a question to the soldiers who were there. What made you to become a soldier? What made you to get into army? 80% of them said, we had watched Laksh film. That's the power of storytelling. It makes an impact on someone. I think you must have heard about this. Mahatma Gandhi was a thief actually. After watching Satya Harishchandra play, from Mohandas Gandhi, he became Mahatma Gandhi. So he started believing in truth. So that the play Satya Harishchandra made a huge impact on his life, and he transformed into Mahatma Gandhi. Now, in science, they say our brains work through stories. Like we build an emotional connection between a storyteller and an audience. There is a bridge between a storyteller and an audience, and we start to empathize with the character. We start to relate the characters in the story. So we start to develop emotions when we are listening to a story. For example, like when we see a serial, we'll be, oh, this is what happens in my home also. We start to connect. So that's the power of storytelling. Now, advertisement industry is running on stories. They create such awesome stories that the audience or we have to buy that product. For example, dairy milk. During Raksha Bandhan, they created a story in such a way that they created a story between the bond of brother and a sister. Suppose my brother is not with me; he's in some other place. I can send dairy milk box to him. This connection was built in an advertisement, dairy milk advertisement. It made a huge impact. After Vodafone advertisement, the pug was so popular. Everyone started to buy pug, and there was a cute relationship between that boy and the pug. And Paytm ad, like I want to buy something, I'm craving to eat something, but I don't have money. So Paytm came up with a solution that through mobile you can pay, you can eat, you can do whatever you want. So that ad also, that story also created a huge impact on us. So now, how to create a story on Instagram? Now, Instagram is so popular. Social media is so popular. Can anyone tell me, like, how do you create story on Instagram?
Yeah, by making the reels, or we can even post, write our own stories, and we can post it.
Yes, reels, and you can write a story, but even you can create a story through pictures.
Yeah,
that's what I'm showing here. This Goldest Karat, she's an author. She has a publishing company. She wants to post an ad in Amazon. So these three pictures says what she wants. She wants a book, and the cover page has to have a girl picture who has a big hair. So all the story, what she wants to convey is in these four pictures. So you can tell stories in however ways you want. There are many ways, just through pictures, through role play, through enactment, anything. There are many ways. So I want to discuss a case study. Like in 2020, 3 companies, they noticed, one second, 3 companies by name ABC, NST, and GST companies, they saw a huge drop in their sales. They were clueless as to what is the reason. But one of the company's managers, they decided to have a survey. They started to ask questions to their employees. What went wrong? What was the problem? And they got so many answers from them. But that manager, he adopted the method. The method was when Arjuna failed to perform in the war, what did Lord Krishna do? What did Lord Krishna do?
Yeah, you motivated Arjuna by telling the truth and what he should do. He just told some facts about what should be done as per the guidance of a elder, yeah, in the form of stories, I think.
Exactly. He motivated him. So same, one second. Same thing, this manager brought a wonderful story to the bench. The story was John Paul was a very small businessman. He was selling Christmas cards, and slowly he started to sell shampoos door to door. But now he owns a company called Mitchell Systems. So if he had stopped there, like, oh, this is enough, I'm happy, I'm content with selling only shampoos or Christmas cards, he wouldn't have reached that level. So it's always we should motivate ourselves to run a beautiful journey ahead. Likewise, the manager, he motivated his employees by telling this story example, and and uh, and the employees slowly started to increase their started to work towards increasing their sales. Have inspired to the movie called Back to the Future. And children got mad about that shoes, and that power laces shoes was a huge hit. So stories inspire us to invent something new which we wouldn't have thought also. So now I would like to share how we can even it can be at work, even it can be with your children, or it can be anywhere. First, we have to know our audience, like whom are we telling the story? And based on that, we have to try to building the story. Is it for my managers? Is it for my students? Is it for my colleagues? Or is it for my friends? Then identify your goal. What is my goal? In the case study, the manager's goal was to motivate the employees. So he, according to that, he selected the story. Similar way, we have to identify what is my goal. After telling this story, I should be able to reach that goal. So, like according to that, try to select the story. And choose a, oh sorry, 1 second. So choose in a topic. What would be what's my topic, what is suitable for my company, or is this topic really relevant, does this topic really affect my audience? All this have to be kept in mind. Okay. So structure your story. It should have a beginning, it should have a middle, it should have an end. So in the beginning, you are giving an introduction to the story. In the middle, you are going to reveal the story. And at the end, you are giving an end to the story. Like you are ending up with a quote, or you are ending up with a emotion, or you are ending up with a moral. It can be anything. So always have a beginning, middle, and end. So the characters have to be really engaging. Like always try to bring real life characters so that it is very familiar to us. Instead of bringing something fictional or imaginary characters or fantasy characters which we haven't even come across, then it won't be really helpful for the audience. They cannot even connect. So it's always better to develop an engaging characters. So it's always better to have a vivid details, like sorry, the characters in between. You can have voices. You can bring emotions to the characters. You can explain how the characters' appearance is. So this will be easy for us to connect with the audience, and we can keep the audience engaged. It's always to bring conflict or tension in between the story, so that it's very interesting. If the story goes very normal, like a boy was going and he met a man, and the man gave a bottle, and the boy drank the water. It is very simple, but instead if you bring a lot of conflicts in between and make the story more dramatic, I think it will be really interesting for us to listen also and pay attention also. Use examples, like suppose if you have heard stories from your family or friends, or if you have heard a politician talking about a topic, or if you've gone to a professional conference and you have collected so many memories, you can bring it to the table as an example. So that will be really helpful. So what I would like to say is, what a sword cannot do, a needle can. So that's the power of storytelling. So I request you all to adapt storytelling in your journey, and it really motivates us to grow and be a wonderful human being. Thank you.